Welcome to Discovering DeSoto, a podcast by DeSoto County Tourism. Here we chat with locals to help you discover what makes our area at the top of the Magnolia State so special. I'm your host, Andrew Bartolotta. Now let's get into it. DeSoto County is growing rapidly, and one of the most talked about projects is a place where world-class musicians, theatrical performances, graduation ceremonies, and sports leagues have called home for 25 years. I'm talking about the expansion underway at Lander Center in Southaven. This expansion promises to bring new opportunities for residents, businesses, and visitors alike. And joining us today to talk about this is Amelia Lovorn, president of the DeSoto County Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for giving me the opportunity to boast a little bit about our county. It's a wonderful county. I've called it home my whole life.
Well, it really is such a special place, and we're going to talk, of course, about the Lander Center, but let's first talk about what brought you to your role as president of the CVB.
Well, I went to Southaven Elementary School. I went to Southaven High School. I was 9 years old when Southaven became a city, and our home backed up to what was then called the Aladex, which is now City Hall for Southaven. And I remember being there when we became a city. April 15th, we had a large celebration. And it's just been my city and my home all of my life. And I was raised to believe that you give back to your community, that you volunteer, and that you give your best efforts to make where you live a good place for not only yourself, but those around you. So I have volunteered in a variety of ways. I was on the Republican Executive Committee in my 20s. I became a board member for the Southaven Spring Fest, which became so large we had to turn it over to the city in 2004. And when I was asked if I would like to participate as a board member on the CVB by the county supervisors, I thought it was a great opportunity to make things a little bit better and to protect the taxpayers and our money. We're all taxpayers, right? And it gives us an opportunity to really further the city of Southaven and the county as a whole.
Well, thank you for being a change maker in DeSoto County and Southaven as well, more specifically too, because the work that you were doing as not only a citizen, but then rolling up your sleeves and being part of the change and the expansion is great. And as we talk about the behemoth Lander Center expansion, what does this project entail, and what can we expect once it's completed?
Well, it is a prodigious project for certain. It's, to my knowledge, the largest project that we've undertaken in DeSoto County ever. And I believe it's going to bring a lot of things, positive things to DeSoto County. We will have places for exhibitions and conferences that we've frankly never had before. And I think it's very important as a city for us to grow and grow in a positive direction. So I think we're going to help businesses with this, not only our own, but we're going to bring jobs and more wealth to our own county.
Definitely. And I think it's really cool when you look at the convention space quadrupling in size. I'm really excited about Embassy Suites being part of that expansion too, because whenever I travel, I always look for an Embassy Suites, not only when you're traveling with families because of the expansive rooms, but also how you're able to have all the amenities in one. And so bringing regionally these larger conventions to our area, I think is going to be such a huge addition to what's already a beautiful space that has really made an impact in our area for the past, like I said, 25 years, which is hard to, I'm sure you remember when it was open. So.
Well, I graduated high school in 1988. And back then, the reason it was open in the first place was because we had nowhere for people to graduate high school. So when I graduated from Southaven High School in 1988, we had to go to the county south of us to use Northwest Community College's center for us to graduate. So somewhere along the way, one of my father's best friends, Rex Haynes, was the original president of the board, which is wonderful that I get to follow in his footsteps. He was an amazing man. And I think it was a good move. And so we have just tried to bring other things into the area that not only help the small things that for our citizens, but also the big things too. And we have a wide variety of citizens and interest in our county. So we need to be able to bring a wide variety to accommodate all of their interests.
Yes. Yeah, well said. For those wondering, explain where the funding for this expansion comes from.
Sure. So that is always something that is important to nail down on the very front end of anything this large. So we actually have two projects going at the same time. So that's very ambitious of us, right? We have two projects, and coincidentally, they're both about $85 million-ish dollars. So, and I'll just round some numbers here for the interest of what we're talking about today. I don't want to bore your viewers with the exact numbers, but we have a hotel that's going in, and that is entirely privately funded. We don't fund private businesses and ventures, so that is one thing. And then we, as a county, and the CVB, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, as we're known as the CVB, we are the ones that are funding the convention center expansion. So that money, we have about $37.5 million initial bond approval from the county. We have some money in our CVB coffers. As we all know, there was a 2% tax that was passed some time ago, and that 2% comes to the CVB every year, right? And so we used that money to fund that as well. We also sold a parcel of land to the hotelier because, again, we can't participate in private ventures. So we got about $5 million from that. And anyway, we ramp up and we will issue that bond. The bond will be issued, we believe, sometime in February. So that is where we're getting our money. That is where the money's coming from.
And I'm going to paraphrase, but when I was researching about this project, Southaven Mayor Darren Musselwhite said that because it is located in Southaven, he said that he feels like this is one of the biggest projects, not only that's ever been in Southaven, but that will transform not only the city, but the county moving forward, even with the skyline and how it will attract so many added events and such. And for those who drive by on I-55 or attend an event, you'll notice that a lot of dirt work is going on. So getting the ground ready to go vertical with construction, what does that look like? What is the timeline for this project?
Well, I do want to acknowledge that we could not, as the DeSoto County Convention and Visitors Bureau, we could not have done this project without the cooperation of the county supervisors from DeSoto County, our county administrator, Vanessa Lynchard, amazing, and Darren Musselwhite and his board, Mayor Musselwhite, he's always been a visionary, and he deserves a lot of applause for really muscling down and getting this done. So it looks like we're working on the dirt work. You saw there's a lot of dust flying over there. And there will be for some time. So we anticipate this to be open, cross everybody's fingers, and that we get good weather and all that sort of thing in the spring of 2027.
Which is very soon. When I look at that timeline, that's ambitious.
That is ambitious. Well, we're ambitious folks, so let's just start there. But we think we can pull it off. We have a great team, and all of the team, we're all in. We're ready. We're ready to go, and we are ready to all get together and roll up our sleeves. So we will get the dirt is rolling now. We should have a groundbreaking maybe around in the next couple of months, and hopefully vertical. We hope by May of this year we're going to start seeing some change in our skyline, as Mayor Musselwhite put it. So we're very, very excited. We couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's so cool to see just the ambitious plan, but also that from a project that has come from the needs of our community, but also looking forward as a visionary, that the entire county sees the need for it and the importance of it to bring not only dollars, but to our city and our community and our county, but also new events and new ways to bring people in as a tourism factor as well. And with such large project, there's bound to be a big impact on the local community and economy. So talk about how this expansion will create jobs and benefit businesses right here in DeSoto County.
Oh gosh, well that's the easy part, right? So I have a degree in finance and economics, and then I also have an MBA, an executive MBA from the University of Memphis. So that these are all things that are just core things that happen when you bring such a big project in. So you have direct economic effects, you have indirect economic effects, and then you also have induced economic effects. So the effects that we'll see already that we've seen, right? Or we've got construction people over there working right now. We've got AERC, which is our local architect down in Hernando. They're amazing, and they are we've already given them a job, right? We've got the short-term jobs that we'll have during construction. We have the long-term jobs, of course, that will be in the hospitality industry, and it will be wonderful for a lot of people here. And I think we'll really raise the bar for some of the salaries and things here in the county. Now, I think you'll also have the indirect and the induced, because every time we pay somebody over there, right, they're going out and spending their money at least partially in our community. So all of the surrounding businesses are going to benefit from the money that we are paying these people, and the money that the hotel is bringing in from people outside of our county. So I expect that we will have more businesses coming up. I expect that some of our businesses will hit a higher tempo, right? They're going to graduate up because they'll have more we'll have more people eating in the area. We'll have more people shopping in the area. So I think all of these things are going to be so beneficial for our county. I think a lot of times people think of projects in a vacuum, that, it's only going to be good for that one little area. But it will send shock waves throughout the entire county about all of the things that will happen for our constituents here in the county, right? All of the people that live here, all the citizens. And it'll bring tax revenue in, which will also be wonderful, because that helps mitigate some of the other things that they pay for, right? So maybe we can get some outsiders to pay for some of these things that we're doing, which we think is a great idea.
Yeah, that's such an added benefit there. When you also look at the when you're going under the construction, a lot of us think, okay, does this mean that we're not going to have any events happening during construction?
Oh, right.
Talk about that misconception there.
So we will have events that will continue on as much as we can. There will be a time that we are replacing our boiler chiller plant, which is a whole thing I didn't know much about before I became a board member here at the CVB. So the thing that we have over at the Landers Center currently, it's aging out, right? It's been there for a long time. So when we put in this new convention center, we will briefly have to shut some things down so that we can replace that boiler chiller plant for both projects. And but mostly we're going to be still going strong and having events. So don't let the dust fool you. We're still in business. Come on over and see us.
For those who want to stay informed about the expansion or learn more about where they can find updates and information,
Sure.
tell listeners where they can go specifically for the expansion at the Landers Center.
Right. There's a website called landerscenterexpansion.com, I believe is correct. And we will keep that updated. Anytime we have a big change, we will keep that updated. Or they can just call us. And I'm always available for any questions from anyone. Any of our citizens, you have a right to know what's going on over there. And we welcome any questions or any suggestions or anything at all, we're happy to hear from you. So please reach out to us.
Awesome. So this is our rapid fire question round. Some
Okay.
short questions.
All right.
Okay. So what's your favorite event you've ever attended at Lander Center?
Oh my gosh. There is a blues concert that they usually have over there. And I love the blues. And I went over there and it was amazing and such a good group of happy people. So I think that would be my favorite.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Mine would be, not that you asked, or maybe people care, but I'm gonna tell you, mine would be Kelly Clarkson. Because how can you see such like an international music sensation right in your own backyard? Not a lot of people can say that. So
That is true.
it's one of the reasons why Lander Center brings the best.
That's right. And if you have any people you'd like to see, call us because we will certainly dial them up and see if we can get them over there. I think our mayor is hoping KISS will reconnect and come, but we'll see.
Let's make it happen, DeSoto County.
I like it.
Well, another question: favorite place to eat in DeSoto County?
Oh my gosh. I would say Ember and Oak.
Okay. Yeah.
Ember and Oak. They have, I hate to say it because I shouldn't say it, but they have some bacon over there that will, I dream about that bacon. Jesus made that bacon.
Lastly, we ask all of our guests this question. What's something you've recently discovered in DeSoto County that excites you? Maybe it's a retail store, a new restaurant, a walking trail, something that excites you.
Oh my gosh. I would say the entire development over at Silo Square is, it is just legendary. It is, you can do anything over there. We went over, we eat dinner, we saw them light the Christmas tree. I go shopping over there, and beware of your shopping over there that can get
So
to
many
you.
options.
Oh my gosh. And then Stacks and the wine bar. It's just amazing. It's an amazing development. Everybody should go over there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on the show, for sharing all the information about the Lander Center expansion. And we look forward to having you back as it continues to rise up in DeSoto County.
Oh my gosh, we would love to come back. Like I said, it's hard not to boast about a county that I love so much and has been my whole life, really. So I just enjoy it, and we've got so many amazing, good people that live here. So we hope to see you again.
We just wrapped up an exciting conversation with Amelia about the transformation coming to the Lander Center. Now let's keep that momentum rolling by diving into the exciting events and attractions you can look forward to right here in DeSoto County. From dining to live entertainment, this next segment is packed with all of the fun and festivities happening in 2025. And joining us to share all about the latest and greatest news is the Director of DeSoto County Tourism, John Frost. John, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Finally, nice to be on here with you.
I know, exactly. Okay, so for those who don't know, tell us a little bit about your career and background in events and what inspired you to be part of this growing community.
Well, my background in events is quite extensive. It's taken me from anywhere from Las Vegas to upstate New York to Croatia. I moved here from Las Vegas, but I grew up in Kentucky and South Carolina. And so the draw for me to be here in DeSoto County has been the familiarity. It's very similar to where I grew up, in terms of smaller community next to a bigger metro area. And my wife and I moved here with a young son, and so you start making those decision points in your life of, where can I go, where can I be that's a great place to raise a family, do things with your family, and enjoy, for the most part, better weather than the rest of the country.
Yes, definitely. And essentially being located as well, I think, plays into that, visiting family, but also having people come in and visit you. Now, DeSoto County has become such a hot spot for dining and entertainment. So let's talk about what's on the horizon for 2025. First up is DeSoto County Dining Week.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
DeSoto County Dining Week, this 2025 will be the second year we've done it. We took a model from what some larger cities do. Memphis has a downtown dining week. Las Vegas has a dining week that they do. And so having been here and kind of observed the operations in Memphis versus having experienced it in other communities, it became something that we could do here, right? And it was something that we could do that was new for the community. And a big part of the story with DeSoto County and what makes it so appealing is that we have so many wonderful locally owned places to eat. Yeah, we have our Longhorns and everything else. It's a chain, you might say. But we have just a plethora of mom and pop places, local steakhouses, dessert shops, and that's what we want to shine a light on. So we do Dining Week to give those businesses a free opportunity to be advertised via everything that we're going to do to promote the event. And all they have to do is create a special offer to welcome guests, and then we go do the legwork to try and get guests to come into the county and try a new spot, whether it's in Olive Branch, Hernando, Southaven, Horn Lake, Walls, Nesbitt, you name it. We want our restaurant partners to participate, and we want to get the word out about that event. The first year we had some learnings. Like I literally just mentioned, we usually have better weather. Last year, Dining Week happened right after a week of ice and slush and mess, and we don't like to drive in that, and we don't want to ask people to get out and drive in that. So we have moved it to April 7th this year is when it'll kick off. Give everybody a chance to thaw out from the winter and try something new or enjoy a deal at your favorite spot.
Yes, and so I was a part of it last year, being able to not only help some of my friends who own small restaurants in our area. Some of them had the largest days that they had that month because of that. And so the tail end of that lovely weather played effect of that. But now having it in April 7th through the 13th, I think is a great way to have people really make it a goal for them to visit restaurants that they've always wanted to, small restaurants that are locally owned, that they can not only learn about the specials that they have, but learn more about the people behind the restaurants. We have some legends in our community that have really passed down from generation, these restaurants and desserts and whatnot that make it such a great space and place to not only dine with family and friends, but also to support. So mark your calendars for that, April 7th through the 13th, DeSoto County Dining Week. Next up, one of my favorite venues, BankPlus Amphitheater, is gearing up for a stellar lineup in 2025. You've got Dwight Yoakam, you've got Thomas Rhett, you've got Teddy Swims, and that's just a few on the horizon. What makes this venue such a draw for both artists and fans?
Well, the big thing about the amphitheater is that it gives us an entertainment complex that welcomes people during the time of year where you want to be outside. You know, from late April to early October. You know, you want an excuse to go outside, and so there's also a big desire for a diverse music mix. So that venue gives our community a real beacon and a real spot to exist on concert touring calendars. So that gets us those opportunities to get a Teddy Swims, or a couple of years ago a Jelly Roll, Dave Matthews Band, Lainey Wilson. Like these are major touring acts that we have right here in our backyard. And of course, the folks that live nearby the amphitheater always let us know that they can hear the concert from their back
I'll
porch.
benefit from that as well, but I'm not complaining.
No.
That's
That's a nice upgrade to your evening entertainment. You can have Pandora, or you can have a concert from the amphitheater.
Right
Your
there.
choice.
It's great. And I think too, with the recent improvements and enhancements, expansion there, I think it is, like you said, such a beacon for our community. And there's nothing better than one of those Mississippi sunsets, and you've got live music, and you've got somewhat okay weather that you can enjoy. Maybe it's heating up, but you've got, you know, drinks that you can walk across the street from Silo Square and enjoy, or right there at BankPlus Amphitheater. Now, let's talk about, we talked about in this first segment with Amelia about the Lander Center, bringing top tier entertainment to the county. And so what, as director of tourism, how do you see this impacting the community, both for locals and for visitors coming to DeSoto County?
So on the tourism side of things, that's going to really change the game for us. You know, we've been a transient visit destination. But we've grown and we continue to grow from that. We go from not having a, key centerpiece for the things people to choose to come see, to where now we have the Lewis Ranch experience is open, and you can see the home of Jerry Lee Lewis. There's plenty of experiences that you can do there. I believe you can even spend the night on the property. So, Memphis has another famous house by a famous musician, not in DeSoto County, so I can't remember what it's called sometimes. So there's different experiences you can have, and that's part of the musical history here. Everybody knows about the Bill Streets and the Sun Studios, but DeSoto County is very, very entrenched with the foundations of blues music. And the early rock and roll, and Jerry Lee Lewis was a big part of that. I don't know anybody that doesn't know who sang Great Balls of Fire,
Right.
For example. So that's something that's outstanding. But what the transition to having a meeting facility like that, that's a win-win for us on all standpoints. And the real switch there is that, we go from, trying to capture folks visiting nearby areas, visiting families, coming here for baseball tournaments. Now we have the meetings industry. Now we have business people coming. We have multi-day events. We have the expansion itself is going to be an open floor plan. So it's going to quadruple the space, but it's going to quadruple the space without any interruption, which gives us a footprint to really stand out in the entire Mid-South region. Other than the convention center in downtown Memphis, there is no meeting space in the entire market that people can go to. Here in DeSoto County, Whispering Woods, which used to be Holiday Inn University, has done a great job carrying that flag and being that banner holder. But they are also limited in space, as any building, even the Lander Center itself, it ran out of space. If you look at their calendar or try to call the Lander Center and book an event in the convention hall, it's literally booked up for the entire year on the weekends. So there is no space available for events to try to come here. So now we're going to be able to recapture our calendar of availability, and having things that bring business events, meetings, conventions here goes to hotels, goes to people trying our restaurants, and those people are going to be invested in our community while they're here. And that is a massive, massive change to the model that we've experienced. I'm excited. I've worked in the convention center world in a couple different lifetimes, so I'm excited to see what that means here. Amelia spoke glowingly of it and about the impact to the local constituents here. But when we actually get to open the door, have the ribbon cutting, and truly welcome people to DeSoto County, that's going to be something that the everyday citizen of the county won't understand until they see, the traffic there at the Church Road exit, because it's people coming to something different. It's not just a concert. It's not the Mid-South Fair. It's not the rodeo or the Harlem Globetrotters. It's an actual multi-day. They're going to be here. They're going to be part of our community, and we get to be the welcome mat for that. And that's just wonderful to be able to do.
And DeSoto County is also known for great hospitality. So what other great way to not only welcome these guests that'll be here for days upon days, but also welcome them Mississippi style. So
Absolutely.
That's great too.
Well, and that's, on the tourism side of things within the state of Mississippi, we call ourselves the hospitality state. I know there's Southern stereotypes to that, the yes ma'ams, the yes sirs, the warm welcomes. But yeah, Mississippi itself is the Magnolia State. But on the tourism side of things, no matter where you are across Mississippi, we brag about and try to accentuate the hospitality state moniker.
Well, I think it's smart, but also it's true. And what are some of your favorite ways visitors and locals can discover DeSoto County's hidden gems? So let's say maybe a restaurant, a park, a unique experience that isn't really on everyone's radar yet.
Sure. We have a lot of parks that are enjoyable, and I can speak from a family standpoint. I have a young son. He wants to rollerblade or bicycle. You got to have a trail to do that on. It's paved. We have those. We have those in Hernando with Renaissance Park. We have dog parks there. We have skate parks. We have Snowden Grove, which is right by Silo Square, right by the amphitheater. Plethora of opportunity for baseball, tennis, soccer, but also trails. And those kind of fresh air activities. You get to Olive Branch and they have City Park. City Park's got dog parks, got shaded trails. It's got facilities that you can do things with your family. And a lot of times when folks are traveling, they don't look at that as the main reason they want to travel, but they need that when they do travel. And we have that no matter which end of the county you happen to be visiting, whether it's friends, family, traveling through, or spending a couple days here.
Yeah, that's a great perspective too on when you're traveling, you don't necessarily think about the public parks that you can go to or a walking trail, but they're great added benefits, not only for the local community, but as you're traveling, tourism standpoint, to be able to stretch your legs and really hone in on what the community has to offer. So hopefully you'll end up moving here. That's always an added benefit.
Happened to me.
Yes, there we go. As we begin to wrap up, are there any other events that you are looking forward to in this first part of 2025?
Yeah, I've got a whole list I could go through. I think, leading up to February, obviously we have Valentine's. I know guys generally look at that as a Hallmark holiday. It costs us a lot of money, but we have to take care of the ladies. So one thing I would suggest is, try a restaurant here in DeSoto County, whether it's Mesquite Chop House, whether it's Magnolia Bend Grill, which has recently been open at Bonterra and Nesbitt.
Yeah,
these are
Patrick.
Yeah. I mean, we've got people coming here and bringing businesses here that are renowned. If you want to catch me eating something that's stereotypical to the region, I'll be at Memphis Barbecue Company.
There we go.
Coming up to Valentine's, there's father-daughter dances coming up. I believe the Hernando's Young Women's Society puts on an event, so that's an opportunity for people to get out of the home in the cold weather and go do something, but create family memories. A lot of things about tourism and travel, or being a local adventurous person, is creating those core memories with your families. And you as a parent or as a traveler, you always can take pictures, but it's the memories that are so precious to all of us. So things like that. Galentine's, the sip and stroll that the Silo Square has.
Yes.
Fantastic time. I might not be the demographic for that, but it is a fantastic event, and Lexi and the team at Silo Square have done a super job creating that event over the past few years. There's, and then if you get into the events in Q1, just between the venues that we have and other things going on, we've got parades. We've got a Mardi Gras parade that Olive Branch does.
That's become huge.
It's
Yes.
fantastic too.
Yeah.
It's good, clean family fun. It's not that Mardi Gras New Orleans experience, where
It's Mardi Gras family style.
yeah, and I mean they're gonna throw the beads, they're gonna throw the candy, and the kids are gonna need a bag to take it all home in. But the community really comes out, and really it's a showcase. It's a showcase for businesses. It's a showcase for the city of Olive Branch, and they take such pride in the events that they put on, whether it's the partnership with the Light Garden and Russ Lehman, whether it's the Light the Way Festival that they've created a concert and around the 4th of July at the park. It's excellent. So Olive Branch is doing a great job of bringing that. Getting into the spring, we're going to end up seeing the Hernando Farmers Market reopen.
Yes, one of my favorites.
Everybody should visit it. Southern Living has highlighted that before. Baseball season is around the corner, and for the tourism sector, that's a big thing. From March to October, we host about 250,000 people.
Is it that many?
In youth baseball and
gosh.
softball events in this town.
Wow.
Now, and that number is just the people that enter the field complex.
Right, because you have families that travel with but may go shopping instead.
Yeah. So, yeah, we need you. And we tell them, hey, you're here for sports. Do you need a laundromat? We work with these organizations to know where those resources are. Doctors' offices, sports stores, something might tear or break, kids are kids, and sliding on any field, no matter how nice it is, there's going to be a scuffed knee along the way. That's an exciting time. The Lander Center is full of family entertainment coming up. Harlem Globetrotters is here at the end of January. Blippy is here in March. Disney on Ice is here in March. Monster Jam is here in May. So lots of exciting stuff headed our way. And if you want some comedy, we have a comedy show, 2 comedy shows coming up. Mike Epps is coming to town. Some More is coming to town. And then we have a couple other concert events. We've got Jagged Edge. He's coming with Drew Hill and 112. And then we also have the Isley Brothers coming to town. So, a nice mix of, is it family? Is it shows? What is that experience you're looking for? The goal is we mix it all in. And you've got the family, you've got the night outs, you've got the girls' night, you've got the date nights, and it's all right here in DeSoto County, across the county.
I don't think the word bored comes to mind anywhere in DeSoto County because there's so much to do.
No. And, and if you want something off the beaten path, Cedar Hill Farm. Heading into Easter season, they have Easter events, Easter egg hunts. They've always got an excellent playground, excellent outdoor experience. But, if you want some off the beaten path place to go eat on the weekend, they have a full service restaurant there on the farm. So if you want fresh, that might be your spot to go.
Yes, farm to table. There are so many events coming up in DeSoto County and so many things to do. And I love that you mentioned the parks and Hernando Farmers Markets, all previous episodes of Discovering DeSoto. And so you can go back and listen to previous episodes there. So John Frost, thank you so much for coming on to join us. Looks like 2025 is shaping up to be one of the best here in DeSoto County for events, and not only to visit the Magnolia Estate, but to enjoy it as well. For those that are wanting to learn more about specific events and or more information about an event listed today, go to visitdesotocounty.com. But thank you again for joining us. Thank you for having me be a part of this wonderful podcast. And we look forward to seeing how 2025 continues to thrive with all the events and activities here in DeSoto County.
Andrew, you do a fantastic job helping us with this. You are probably our #1 cheerleader for the county. So we're just thrilled to get to do this with you. Thank you for working me into the schedule. I know I get some play in that, but we'll see who we bring on here next and continue to share that DeSoto County story.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
Thank you.